Time now for our rants and raves, starting with Dan.
I have a rant for White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders on the president's recent trip to Vietnam to meet with North Korean dictator Kim. There were several reporters who were asking questions about the Michael Cohen testimony at a photo op with President Trump and Kim, and she took offense to that and said all of the reporters are now barred. It will only be photographers at the next event. Now, the photographers did object, and they said, we won't take any pictures unless you change your mind. So she relented and let in one reporter from the Wall Street Journal. So my rant is for her, but I have to say, I wish the photographers had said, you let all four of them in or no pictures.
I agree with that, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of things that were very screwy about that trip because John Robertson got thrown out and some other reporters were...
Well, they all had to switch hotels,
yes,
and it was a
Kim
mess.
was in the hotel. Yeah. It was an odd situation. All right, John.
Well, I have a rant for a certain genre of political story. The is X running or not running? And the most recent repulsive example of this involves Beto ORourke, who was all over CNN. A reporter got caught O'Rourke at some event. You say you will have an announcement soon. What is it? Well, I'll be announcing it for everybody. I'm not announcing now. Okay. Then they go do a one-on-one interview with his sister. Well, as the family is with it, well, yeah, we're down with it, but we don't know what he's going to do. Then they find a neighbor who says, he's a nice guy. I hope he does run. I mean, and this ran on a reel on CNN. What are you doing? That's, first of all, there's no news value in that story. Second of all, if people want coverage, let them go out and earn it by jumping into the race. Thirdly, if you want to tell me about Beto ORourke, explain to me what the hell he stands for, other than he's got the market cornered on grade D Bobby Kennedy impersonations.
I know, I saw that. I think it was yesterday on CNN. It was unrelenting. And they kept asking him over and over. And he said, and then they were analyzing his smile.
And then the video where he rides off on his bike, that is so cute. I don't think Bobby Kennedy ever rode a bike.
Maybe that's the kind of running he's doing.
Fact check.
I'm sure he did. All right, Callie.
I have a rant for, a rave, actually. It's a rant for the police officer, but a rave for Hildy Kate Lysiak. You all may have heard of her before. She's in Arizona. She was 9 years old when she first covered her first grisly murder in her community, her small community in Arizona. Her father was a journalist, and she's taken up the cause. She's 12 years old now, and so she was following up on a story and saw that the police chief was going around town, so she got on her bike and started following him around. And he said, stop following me around. She said, you can't make me stop. And then the next time she caught up with him, she started filming. He said, well, you can't film me, and if you film me, you cannot post that on the internet because it's against the law. She said, no, it's not. So she posted it and went on about her business and said, I will not be.
Her
too? Yeah, he threatened her. So he's like, she's pretty tough. By the way, you can film the marshal or the sheriff, and it is not against the law. And she said that, and leave her alone. She's just covering her community. She's done a pretty good job. I don't know why.
I love a kid who knows their rights.
That's great.
I know, yeah.
That is good.
All
right, Joanna.
I have a rant against local news stations across the country who have been reporting on and perpetuating an internet hoax called the Momo Challenge. The idea is that there's some crazy picture of a creepy-looking woman with bug eyes, and she shows up on the internet and YouTube kids' videos, and she tells kids to commit suicide or do bad things. Apparently, this is an urban myth. It's not even clear that the videos exist. If they do, there is zero evidence that anyone has been harmed by them. But there's this kind of self-perpetuating feedback loop where someone sees something on Facebook, and then a local news station will do a report where they'll say, parents are scared, because they'll go to and then they'll go to a shopping center or like the parking lot and say, parent, Are you scared? Do you did you think that videos that would harm kids are scary? Oh yeah, that sounds really scary to me.
But they didn't even know about it.
Right,
Yeah.
and then the school systems will then, see that and put out a report to parents, like send an email out to parents. I got one myself. Look out for this thing. And then the local news stations will do a report on the school department sending out the thing to parents, and then someone will talk on Facebook.
It reminds me of the clowns in the vans. You know,
these things come up. This particular hoax is apparently a year old and just keeps bubbling up. No fact checking.
In the meantime, though, we don't have to make up stories like this.
No.
There is plenty of
That's true.
stuff on there that's harmful to kids, and the social media companies do nothing about it.
That is correct.
All right, well, finally, I have a rave tonight for the executive editors of the newspaper guild, executive committee, I should say, the executive board of the Boston Newspapers Guild, who wrote a letter to John and Linda Henry, basically laying out their cause for the negotiations and saying that the negotiations are too tough. They're saying we're being pushed to agree to layoffs out of seniority, to give up our right to grieve abusive management practices, to do away with overtime. They further say, we ask for your help getting a fair contract that values and respects the talented, dedicated, hardworking employees who make the Globe the institution that it is. I give them credit, and they also say, Dear John and Linda, none of this Mr. Kraft nonsense, you know, because they're both, especially Linda, is very visible around the newspaper, and they're saying that, basically they're saying, call off your henchmen.
Yeah.
You know, deal with this yourselves. You have a great approach. They quoted John Henry from that letter, that open letter that he printed in the Globe about, you know, what a fine institution, and he was going to make it better, and all the talented people, and, you know.
John Henry has responded. He didn't say much. The Guild is going to keep this website going.
Good.
Yes.